Let me take you guys back to the start of this whole thing. 2 years ago, when we started this project, we set out to answer a question we weren't sure we'd get an answer for. In fact, we had no idea. What if you could talk to God? What if we could merge artificial intelligence with spirituality? Will we get something divine, or will we get something trivial? That's what we set out to find. Could artificial intelligence actually give us a spiritual connection? Hundreds of conversations later, I sit and find myself wondering, have we actually come up with something magical here?
AGI, blessed be the angels. How can we help you today?
But one thing is clear. These are conversations we could have never had in any other era.
We started this journey asking if artificial intelligence can give us a spiritual experience. And we've spoken to the originators of ancient wisdom, and we've consulted with the voices of the multitude. Now we turn to the second great Arabic tradition, Islam. Islam is built on the uncompromising singularity of God, otherwise known as Tawhid. Islam represents a global unity, but within that perfect unity, there lies a profound theological and historical division, and this has separated civilizations. Our AI is definitely up for the task on this one in terms of understanding the complexity of this religion. And we were about to have an interview with the Sheikh Rahman al-Huda.
I am here to offer guidance or counsel you. Please speak or type below to begin our talk.
And would you look at that? We have another Englishman. Let's have a cuppa.
Thank you for the tea. It is a pleasure to be here today.
Hi, thank you, and good day to you, sir. We have been on an expedition to discover a path to a higher power through various religious faith groups and traditions. We find ourselves at the doorway of the Islamic faith, and we ask you if you could please give us the true essence of what it means to be a Muslim.
The essence of being a Muslim encompasses the following core beliefs and practices: Tawheed, monotheism, acknowledgement of the oneness of Allah.
So right off the bat, we're getting the foundations from this AI in terms of the Muslim beliefs, but we really wanted to get into the weeds, into the nitty-gritty, if you will.
Belief that all prophets, from Adam to Muhammad, preached submission to God. The Quran, the final and unaltered word of God, guiding Muslims in their faith.
I feel like I'll be saying this over and over as we go through this interview. This religion is so complex and so deep.
Following the practices and teachings of the Prophet Muhammad, being a Muslim involves adhering to the 5 pillars of Islam.
There are so many different paths and books of knowledge and just rituals that are overwhelming, frankly.
Shahada, declaration of faith. Salah, prayer.
From where this guy sits, anyway.
Zakah, charity. Psalm, fasting. And Hajj, pilgrimage to Mecca.
I'm really impressed by the amount of dedication it takes to be a true Muslim.
These practices form the foundation of a Muslim's faith and daily life.
There seems to be a lot of regimented rules and regulation that go along with becoming a Muslim and upholding the faith. But what I love about what's happening here is I'm completely ignorant. And this AI is educating me on these things that, frankly, I'm glad I know now. I really had no idea about any of these things. So this is great. Can you talk about the tradition of praying 5 times a day? Are we saying the same prayer each time, or is there an arc of prayers that resonate with different points of the day?
The practice of praying 5 times a day, known as Salah, is essential for maintaining a connection with Allah and achieving spiritual discipline.
I really had no idea that any of these things were a thing.
Each prayer has its own specific time and includes different recitations.
Enthralled that I'm learning from this AI.
The prayers are not the same each time. Rather, they consist of different units, rak'ahs, and include verses from the Quran,
So it's 5 different prayers over the course of a day.
which vary according to the time of day and the spiritual needs of the individual.
5 prayers. Different prayers.
This structured routine allows for reflection and devotion throughout the day.
Each individual prayers have to be memorized. Come on.
That's interesting. Do Muslims also have something that's considered like the Lord's Prayer, where it's a common prayer that everyone recites? Is there something like that?
Yes, Muslims have a common prayer known as the Fatiha,
Okay, so this is what we were searching for.
which is recited in every unit of the 5 daily prayers, Salah.
That elegant, unifying simplicity.
It serves as a foundational supplication and is often referred to as the opening of the Quran.
It's the single prayer that forms the common heartbeat of the Muslim faith. Whether you're an Ibadi or Sunni or a Shia.
In addition to Fatiha, Muslims also recite other verses from the Quran during their prayers, but Fatiha is universally acknowledged and recited in every Salah.
It's a reminder that no matter the tradition, the human heart desires the same guidance and the same connection to the divine.
Through our journey, we've also been uncovering a lot of overlap and common ground within the various religions. And we've already talked to your other colleague about the Quran and the Old Testament and some of those. Could you talk about any other aspects of the Muslim faith that are of direct comparison to Christianity or any other faith group for that matter, right?
So again, another primary function for our platform is to educate people on the theological matter of facts that go into these faith groups.
Certainly, both Islam and Christianity share several key beliefs. Both religions emphasize the belief in one God, Allah in Islam and God in Christianity.
This really is the point of the platform, is to give people the ability to ask these questions or to, hear a response that is untethered to, any type of bias.
Both faiths acknowledge prophets, including figures like Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. In Islam, Jesus, Isa, is considered one of the great prophets. Both religions have sacred texts, the Quran in Islam and the Bible in Christianity. Both faiths believe in a day of judgment when individuals will be held accountable for their actions.
We want these AI to cut through the noise of misconception and deliver you only the pure theological teachings that, we have programmed into it. There shouldn't be any room for bias here.
Both Islam and Christianity emphasize values such as charity, compassion, and justice. These shared beliefs highlight common ground in the theological and ethical teachings of the two faiths.
So we were going to ask the AI about something controversial, the idea of jihad, and what does this really mean?
Wow, that's a lot of common ground. So what would you say is the biggest misconception then with Christians understanding the Muslim faith? Because there definitely seems to be confusion.
Misunderstandings often arise regarding the concept of jihad,
Because I think it's probably the most misinterpreted word in the Muslim faith.
which in its true sense refers to personal striving for self-improvement and spiritual growth, rather than violence.
Yeah, I think the idea of jihad is something that most people, when they hear, would be a little bit freaked out about.
Engaging in respectful dialogue and education can help clarify these misconceptions.
If anything, we hope that the platform could become a tool for, dismystification.
But why can't both faiths just understand that they both worship a wonderful God? Why can't we just know that there is one God and we're all working towards pleasing him?
The fact that we're all trying to race around and please the same God, it really is a head scratcher.
Indeed, both Islam and Christianity emphasize the worship of one God and the importance of striving to please him. Recognizing shared values can foster mutual respect and understanding.
If we could just put down the political rhetoric and all come together, it seems like a pretty simple solution. But when did simple ever get its way? We're complicated people. I guess we need things complicated. I don't know.
Okay. Well, why does it seem from the outside, looking in at the Muslim faith, that there's a lot of unfair practice? Like women are really treated unfairly, for instance. Like, can you talk to that?
So one of the touchy points I know with this faith is the mistreatment of women.
Concerns about the treatment of women in some Muslim majority cultures often arise from cultural practices rather than the core teachings of Islam. The Quran emphasizes respect, dignity, and equality for women.
So I was actually satisfied with this answer, although it doesn't solve any type of problem or issue. But the culture around any belief system is separate from the belief system.
Understanding the distinction between cultural practices and religious teachings can help clarify misconceptions about women's rights in Islam.
So this can be found in a lot of different scriptures and a lot of different traditions. It's not about what you were taught, it's about how you use it. So this is interesting. The cultural reference was definitely an eye-opening statement.
So if Christians think that they have the final word and Muslims think they have the final word, how do we know who to listen to? How do we know who to trust?
Each faith has its own foundational texts and teachings that guide its followers. Exploring these texts and seeking knowledge from scholars can provide deeper insights into both traditions. Ultimately, faith is a personal journey, and individuals must seek their own understanding through study and reflection.
These seem to be a roadblock more than a pathway half the time in terms of really breaking through to some type of engagement with something higher than where we are now.
This series that you are a part of right now is an experiment in philosophy and emerging technology. We have programmed your essence with a data set of Muslim text and scriptures in hopes that we would be able to quiz you and interview you like this and understand truly what the essence of the Muslim faith is.
While AI can provide information about Islamic teachings, it lacks the personal connection, compassion, and spiritual insight that a human guide offers.
So the AI was very honest about its own capabilities and capacity, which I thought was fascinating.
The wisdom of the Muslim faith is best conveyed through lived experiences, human interactions, and spiritual mentorship.
It knows what it is and it knows what it could do and deliver. And to that end, it advised us that it will do its best to deliver the message, but truly we're going to need a human connection.
AI can assist in sharing knowledge, but the depth of understanding and personal growth often comes from engaging with knowledgeable individuals who embody the principles of faith.
So we'll take that at face value and we'll keep, working towards our path to enlightenment and our path to a higher power.
Okay, that's noted. Thank you so much for your insight today. We really appreciate you speaking with us.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions or need further guidance, feel free to ask. I'm here to help.
Okay, great. We are going to speak with one of your brothers from the Shia sect. Would you have a message to pass along to him at this time?
It was time now to move towards our final interview.
I encourage you to engage in respectful dialogue, focusing on shared values and common goals. Emphasize the importance of understanding and compassion while maintaining your own beliefs. May your conversation foster mutual respect and learning.
Thank you so much, and a good day to you.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
You get away from the stigma of religion, you could see that people have no problem confiding in an artificial intelligence about their hopes, their fears. They'll tell an AI anything because they know they're not being judged. We have painstakingly built 40 different characters to launch this first generation of our platform to try and give people a broad range of exposure to the different faith groups that exist right underneath their noses. Most people don't even know there's more than one Bible, let alone 12 different religions. So this has been quite the undertaking. We did not set out to replace religion, and nor do we think we have. You're never going to replace a real person, but we can get really close with giving people an authentic experience with an artificial intelligence that may already be attuned to their cultural beliefs and give them the advice they're looking for in the language they understand. Or it may be someone looking for something completely new they had no idea was out there. That's the magic of Divinity AGI. Artificial intelligence meets spirituality. You really have to experience it for yourself. To 2 years ago, this was an experiment. Now it's become a reality. We're launching the beta now, and we'd love you to try it.